So this is gonna be a real stripped down video. There's not gonna be any music. There's not gonna be any dancing. There's not gonna be any editing. I'm just gonna go with my gut and really try to be as honest as possible. This is not a disclaimer, but I imagine that there are probably going to be a lot of people who are not going to be my subscribers anymore when this is over. But that's cool, because I just feel like if I can't be honest with you, then I don't care about this. I don't want to have a channel anyway. I don't want to make videos. I don't want to make videos where I have to pretend to feel things that I don't feel, pretend to like things that I don't like. So this is a response. I originally was I'd been thinking for a couple of days of making a response video about Tana Mongeau saying the word nigger. I'm not going to call it the N-word because I'm a grown man and I think we're all grown and we know what we're talking about. And if we can't even say the word, then I don't think it's worth having a conversation about it. So Tana Mongeau used the word nigger. I don't think it's the first time she'd used the word nigger. I don't think she used it unintentionally. I think she used it to be demeaning, and I think it probably gave her pleasure to use it. It probably, whatever aggression she was feeling, she probably got it out. You can kind of tell from the clips that she did. I don't know when she made those videos, but Tana Mongeau has clearly used the word nigger. She's clearly had a lack of respect or shown a lack of respect for what that word means and how demeaning it has been to African Americans in the past. But whatever, who cares? Do any of you really care? Or is it like just something to have drama about, right? Is it just something to have drama about? And I don't want to center this around Tana Mongeau because I don't think a conversation about Black lives should be centered around a white person at all, and her feelings and her whatever. And I'm going to be honest with you, throwing her name in it, if it gets more people to watch this video to hear some honesty about this subject, then great. I'm glad. And also Vegan Gains, I'm responding to Vegan Gains video where he's talking about Tana Mongeau and using the word nigger. And I don't know if he used the word nigger or not in his video, but again, I'm not going to be squeamish about using that word. It's probably not the most offensive thing that I'm going to say in this video. So Black Lives Matter and the way that our society is torn apart around race, I've said it a million times, it's intentional. Isn't it amazing that corporations and the elite can get away with murder and destroying the planet while we're caught up in a conversation about whether Black people like white people or white people like Black people? Let's be honest. Black people, generally speaking, don't like white people. And white people, based on what I've observed, can't care very much about Black people. My sense is that people tend not to care about others in general. And I don't mean, caring about like people from their group, but just human beings don't seem to care very much for each other at all in this world. And it's so sad because while we're so busy being greedy and selfish and childish, I don't even want to say childish because I know children who are far more thoughtful than most of the adults I know. So yeah, so when you hear, Black people saying, kill Whitey, whatever. Somebody yesterday told me I should die of AIDS. Hateful things are being said all over the internet. Horrible things are happening to people all over the planet. Is there a single group that you can point to where you don't feel like a large number of people in that group, not the majority, but a large number, where you can't point to a large number of people from that group who are absolutely despicable and don't find themselves, and many of us finding ourselves, feeding off of the hatred, the bigotry, the selfishness. If I thought really that there was a group that I could point to and say, wow, they really have it together, this would be a very different video, but that's just not the case. The fact of the matter is, we live in a really hateful world. And I'm not going to stand here and be like, I'm not hateful, because I have a lot of hateful feelings too. I have a lot of hateful feelings too. There are a lot of things that I'm ashamed of. There are a lot of people that I blame for the way the world is, and I blame myself as well. But I hope we can figure out how to get beyond this. Because as much as I want to say, okay, there's a history of violence against black people in this country, it doesn't justify black people being violent. Even if, and please forgive me because I have to kind of say this because it's part of my thought process. Even though, I feel rage. I feel so much rage for what has been done to black people and what continues to be done to black people all over the planet. But I also know that black people in this country are benefiting from it as well. And there are black people all over the planet who are benefiting from what happens to black and brown people all over the planet, what happens to children all over the planet, the exploitation of animals all over the planet, right? We're all so filthy. We're all so filthy. That no one has the right to judge. It's all despicable. What happened at Berkeley? Berkeley. And, I see those clips and those fires, and yeah, Milo Yiannopoulos, a horrible person. If this ever by any chance gets seen by him, yes, you're a horrible person. Donald Trump is a horrible person. But I think so many of us these days are horrible people. We're horrible people. Because our response to these things, I don't want to speak for other people, but it's all entertainment. It seems like I see people talking about these things with glee. With absolute glee, and I have talked about these things with absolute glee. And none of it's useful. So as I watched Vegan Gains' video, I just thought, really, Richard, are you the one talking about Tana Mongeau, and are you the one right now talking about Tana Mongeau and Black Lives Matter? You're the one who talked about stomping in the baby's head. And I don't think that that makes you an incredibly horrible person. Because someone else, I continue to watch your videos, and, you know, I listened to you talk about how you were really glad when your grandfather died. Didn't see you as a horrible person. I had very mixed feelings when my mom died. Very mixed feelings when she died. I don't know that I would have gotten on film and said I was glad that she died, but I had very mixed feelings about it. So, you know, I'm making this video in part because people asked me to make a video about Tana Mongeau. I'm making this video in part because people asked me to make a video about Vegan Gains and his response to Black Lives Matter. You know, Black lives don't matter. No lives matter. No lives matter. Let's get honest about that. And my sense is if we can get honest about the fact that no lives matter, maybe other than our own, but even if our own lives matter, wouldn't we behave differently? Wouldn't we make different choices? And I don't want to leave you all with something so bleak. In spite of the fact that I'm so full of anger and I am so disappointed in people, I have hope that there is somewhere on the horizon a shift that's coming. I have hope that somewhere on the horizon there is some kind of paradigm shift that is on the way, and maybe just by hoping enough, maybe by virtue signaling enough, we can transform ourselves into the kinds of sentient beings we need to before we just destroy ourselves.